Stampers. Welcome to card number 3 on the online 2015 class. It is this ballerina snow globe, and it's a little bit different. I have this inside part here so you can see I've got a little bit of a peekaboo type of card here. And again, we're using the Sparkly Season stamp set for this series of classes. Here are the pieces you should have in your card kit. You should have 3 little pearls, some cotton whisper white ribbon, a piece of whisper white to do your stamping. You'll have a melon mambo and a mossy meadow that map together. You're going to have a card base that is not a full card base like you're used to. And then you're going to have a piece of designer series paper, a whisper white piece, and a mossy meadow that's going to mat together and go on the inside of the card. So what we want to do is we want to pop up the entire ballerina and snow globe. In order to do that, we're going to have to stamp first. And I always like to stamp the solid stamp because I always have a little bit more problem with those. So we're going to stamp in Old Olive. Okay, we're going to do this kind of toward the bottom of this piece that you have. Okay. All right. We'll set that aside. Then we're going to stamp the snow globe part. And because it's photopolymer, it's just wonderful to be able to line those up. Okay. So you're going to put that on top of that piece. Okay. And then we're going to fussy cut out this piece. But we also need another piece up here. And this is the one that has the ballerina. So you're going to stamp another piece of the snow globe. Okay. And then get your ballerina. We're going to stamp her inside. Oops, it looks like I didn't get that all inked up. Okay, so now we're going to stamp the ballerina. And one thing that I noticed is you don't want to push too hard, and you don't want to rock because the fine lines on this ballerina won't show up. Okay, so now we're ready to cut and we're ready to color. So let's go ahead and start our coloring. We're going to start with the Blushing Bride, and again, we're using blender pens, and you're just going to add some ink to the ballerina and get that kind of all colored in. We're also using this color for the tights as well. Okay. And if you go over the shoes just a little bit, don't worry, we're going to be putting some Melon Mambo on there. Okay, so clean that off. Then we'll go to Crush Curry. This is the hair. Now, of course, you can always alter this to whatever hair color, skin color, you know. Try some sorts of different shades and whatnot. That's the beauty of making this your own. Then we're going to get some Melon Mambo, and we're going to go ahead and color in the tutu. Okay, make sure you keep coming back and getting some ink. So you're just going to keep coloring this in. Okay, and then what you want to do is you'll come back and highlight, make some of these areas a little darker, just to add some shading. Probably underneath here too. That probably needs to be a little bit darker. Throw a little bit in the shoes. Okay. So next what we're going to do is we're going to trim this apart. And we're going to get our shimmer, put this piece aside, and we're going to get our shimmer onto our ballerina. So what I'm going to do, I've got this folded and forced so that I can put my embossing powder on that, but you're going to need your Versamark. You're just going to stamp all over it with your stamp pad. Okay, then you're going to want to transfer that over to this other one. All right, so next you're going to get your iridescent ice embossing powder. You're going to sprinkle that all over. Okay, so let's get that all over the place. And the way you can tell that you got it, you see now that my image is slightly dull, okay? You know you've got that fully covered. So we're going to put this all aside. And I'm going to use my handy dandy holder so I don't burn my fingers. And so as it heats up, it should turn a little sharper image. Okay, so you should be seeing, and that's the whole reason for the wooden clothespin, because the wood will not conduct the heat, so you can safely hold that and not burn your fingers. Okay, now that that's finished, I usually like to set it aside and let it cool just a little bit. But in the meantime, we can get our other piece and we can fussy cut this. Okay, so you don't have to be super precise. Just cut around. And for fussy cutting, remember, we're going to move the paper. Move the paper, not the scissors. So we'll just cut all around here and finish it off with a small little curve. Okay, so now we've got, this is our base, and this is what we're going to pop up. Now we can take this one. I'm going to get glitter everywhere. This one again is going to be just trimmed out. Just going to trim out the snow globe part. And this is going to sit right on top of that. So let's go ahead and adhere this while we've got it here. A little adhesive. All right, now we're ready to start assembling our project. Let's start with the inside first. So we're going to adhere the Whisper White to the Mossy Meadow, and then we're going to adhere the Designer Series paper just to the right side of this piece. Because this is going to be the peekaboo part of our card. Okay, so that's going to go right on top of the Whisper White. All right, so now that is ready to adhere to your card base. This is to the inside, okay? We're ready to put the front on. All right, so we're going to adhere Melon Mambo to Mossy Meadow. Okay, so get some snail on there. That's going to mount just like that. Now, to put this on, we only need to, we're going to mat it somewhere kind of in the middle like that. So we only want to put adhesive on this side. So what I like to do, go ahead and flip it over, kind of line that up, use that as a guide, and add my adhesive. Now we're going to put on our ribbon onto our snow globe. So how we did this, I snipped a little piece. I think from the last videos that you saw how I did the bow, but this time I almost forgot, we made it thinner, not by trimming it, because we want it to be a little bit more polished. Okay, so we actually folded it with our fingers, kind of pressed it there. Okay, and put that all together. All right, so let's go ahead and put this piece through here and tighten that down. Oops, I got a little extra ribbon there. But you see this little divot there? That's where you want it to rest a little bit. I'm going to add some snail. Okay. And then I'm going to just kind of get my little, I call it a bow, but it's not really a bow, it's a knot. And get that put in place. Okay. We'll take our ribbon scissors, snip the ends because this is some excess stuff that's going to start acting crazy there in a little while. Okay, so then we're going to snip the edge. We want the bow to be nice and pretty. So there we have our ballerina. Now we're going to put some dimensionals. And it's a little thicker, so I like to add maybe a couple extra dimensionals here and there just to give it some support. Okay. And pull all these little hexagons off. All right, so we're going to put this kind of toward the top, okay? Because we need to leave room for our little pearls. You can either use a paper piercer or you can use your scissors to line these up. I'm just going to take them off the paper. Oops. And add them to your card. This nice last little finishing touch makes it oh so pretty. Thank you for joining us for card number 3 in our online October 2015 class.